We'll call our meeting to order, councillors, and we'll start with, as usual, the moment of silence so that we can pray or as you wish, so we're better able to do the business of the county this evening. Thank you. Now we'll do the land acknowledgement. So I'd like to acknowledge that we are on the lands, ancestral lands of the Mi'kmaq people. And we'd like to thank the Mi'kmaq people of today for being so good to share these lands with our ancestors, whether they came 4 years ago or 400 years ago. We are all treaty people. All right, so we'll move right along. So we have two councillors not with us tonight, Deputy Warden Murray and Councillor Larry Turner. So we'll struggle along with the 10 of us. So the first thing I need then is a motion to approve the agenda. Okay, I was just going to say before we move that, there are a couple changes here. Randy, do you want to mention the two you have there, please?
Yeah, I have two amendments to the land use bylaw, and we'll make that 10.0 so that we'll do it before the first reading of the land use bylaw. They're only minor changes, so.
Okay, and if I remember where we're going to put it, I guess it's after number 8, our presentation to do with the dangerous and unsightly property on Pictou Landing Road. After that's over, we need to go in camera for a short time before we move on with the rest of the agenda. So between 8 and 9, we'll have a short in-camera session. So with those changes, now will somebody make a motion?
So move, Peter.
Moved, and a seconder, please. Donnie Parker. Okay, moved and seconded. Any other changes to the agenda? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. Now we have emergency resolutions. Are there any emergency resolutions? Seeing none, we'll move right along to our minutes. Now we have 4 sets of minutes tonight to approve. I think we'll do them separately. So the first one is our last monthly, regular monthly meeting on March the 3rd. Are there any errors, omissions, or corrections to those minutes? Any errors, omissions, or corrections to those minutes of March 3rd? One last time, any errors, omissions, or corrections? If not, we'll declare those minutes approved as presented. Now we have a council meeting March the 3rd. That was a separate meeting, wasn't it? How come we have 2 for March 3rd?
Public.
Oh, it must be the public hearing is the first one I did, sorry. Yes. The regular council meeting then on March the 3rd. Are there any errors, omissions, corrections to the regular meeting? Any errors, omissions, corrections to that meeting? One last time, any errors, omissions, corrections to the regular meeting of March the 3rd? Seeing none, we'll declare those minutes approved as presented. Now we come to our in-camera meetings minutes of the same day, March the 3rd. Any errors, omissions, or corrections? Any errors, omissions, or corrections? One last time, any errors, omissions, or corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, we'll declare those minutes approved as presented. Now we come to a different date, our special council meeting of March the 24th. Any errors, omissions, or corrections to those minutes? Any errors, omissions, or corrections to the March 24th minutes? One last time, any errors, omissions, corrections to the 24th? Okay, seeing none, we'll declare those minutes approved as presented. Now, there is some correspondence there, 2 letters from Municipal Affairs, both to do with our new code of conduct and the training and whatnot. And then one from Nova Scotia Physicians warning of health risks of fracking and uranium mining. Are there any questions or comments on any of that correspondence? Go ahead, Councillor Boyles.
Well, I think that if we're getting letters from physicians turn around and telling us about the dangers of fracking, we should be, looking at it. I mean, that's going to affect a lot of our residents, and I think it's something that we should be looking into. And I don't know if we make a bylaw or what we do to turn around and stop it if it's not right.
Okay, certainly there's a lot of conversation going on now about that one, but I don't think we as a council, are going to be able to pass a bylaw or anything to, maybe somebody advises differently, but to change that. But I think we do have a responsibility as a council to listen to people that want to appear before our council or whatever on that matter or any matters. And as you know, we were asked to write a letter by Minister Lohr saying that we were okay with everything. And it was on the news tonight that most municipalities would not sign that letter because it was almost giving up our right to make any decisions. If we were already on record as saying to the province that, well, whatever you do, we're with you. So I think there was only 1 or 2 municipalities in the whole province out of 49 that were willing to sign on to that. So I think we have to make decisions as time moves along, in response. And this is one letter right here that you're mentioning. When you hear it from people in the medical field, we need to listen. Anyway, are there any other comments or questions on, oh, sorry, I'm not watching the lights very good. Go ahead, Councillor Dewar.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. On the weekend, I heard on the radio that the Aboriginal people of Nova Scotia, they're against it too. So there seems to be a lot of organizations taking a stand about that. And we spent a lot of time here talking about it several years ago, just about not people in our areas not wanting it, et cetera, et cetera. So I would say we're going to hear from a lot of people again, just to keep expressing our thoughts about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions on the correspondence? Okay, seeing none, we're going to move along to our number 8, presentation on dangers for unsightly property. And the property we're talking about is 6190 Pictou Landing Road, and I believe there was something on your desk there, pictures tonight, so you can get an idea of what condition the property is in. And we do have somebody here tonight representing or perhaps owners of that property, Patrick McPherson, to your left down here. And I believe you're the owner of the property. Yeah. Okay, so with that introduction, Evan, are you carrying through on this one for us?
Yes, I am.
Thank you.
So in front of you tonight, the property located at 6190 Pictou Landing Road. We initially received a complaint for dangerous and unsightly properties November 24th of 2022, with the initial site visit taking place January 31st of 2023. At that time, the site was found to be dangerous and unsightly based on our investigation. We initially tried to correspond with the owner on January 31st of 2023 with no response. And again on June 20th of 2023, again with no response until I guess this date here as we came to the hearing. Neighbors have also witnessed people coming in and out of the property late at night, early in the morning, things like that. So those have been reported to us as well. I would ask for council's support in demolition and remediation of this site. I'd be happy to take any questions.
Okay, are there any questions before we have the order read? Any questions on that site? Go ahead, Dora.
Thank you very much, Mr. Warden. My question is, it looks by these pictures that the home is inhabitable right now?
That's how we view the site, yes, is inhabitable at this point.
Okay, Okay, I have to be careful here, you're only allowed to speak around the table. I know what you're trying to do is answer the question, but, we'll leave it up to, Mr. Hale to answer the questions. Anything further?
No, that's everything.
Any other questions? Go ahead, Councillor Boyles.
I just a couple of questions. One is, how long has it been since you got your first report on this place?
November 24th of 2022 was when we took the initial complaint.
And that's when they're saying people.
Sorry,
and
sorry. November 24th, 2022. I'm not sure if I said that date correctly. November 24th, 2022 was the initial complaint.
So it couldn't have been that dangerous. I mean, if we're if we're waiting that long. But anyway, the other thing I'd just like to know: how come you're not showing any pictures of the inside? Like as the gentleman said, it's not we're not seeing what the inside looks like, right?
We're not legally able to enter the property.
Okay.
Okay, any further questions or comments on this, okay, all right, I've just been advised that I should give Mr. McPherson an opportunity to speak, so that's opposite to what I said before, and sorry about that.
Hello, yes. Sorry that I even had to get this letter. We were planning to tear the house down this year anyway. It's just now I have to do it a little bit quicker. My main concern here is I received this letter registered mail. Then I received it again and 3 or 4 days later. Then I go down to the house and there's letters on there. Now, you guys are saying from 22, well, there was no letters on the house. There was no letters delivered to my house, ever. They were never attempted to be delivered. This is a registered letter. I had to sign for it. So, like, my question is, why wasn't I informed earlier if it had to come down? Like, I don't have a problem if it has to come down. It does have to come down. It's unsightly. My concern is, how long do I have? Is it from today I have 30 days? Or is it from when the first notice was put on? I don't know when the first notice was put on.
I'll let our CAO answer that question. That's what I told you earlier, when he came, I'd let him answer.
So the order, it'll be from the time that the order is actually approved by council and issued
So
to
it'd be
you.
30 days from today.
So if the order is issued tonight, it's when that order is actually served on you. So it's 30 days from that point.
Okay, well,
If
I've already
council-
I've already hired the gentleman to tear it down. It'll be done here hopefully this week.
That
And
would be good, and everything will be looked after.
hopefully,
we'll-
if I have any problems, when do you guys meet again, so I'd be able to come talk to you?
Yeah, we'll go ahead with issuing the order so that it's in place, and then you know you have 30 days from
Okay.
now. Who's gonna do that, or just pick somebody to? Randy, do you wanna go ahead and read the order? I just need somebody to know his name is on it, so.
Sure.
You got a copy of it there?
Evan's got something to say.
You have a copy of it, so Randy can read that?
Or I can read
Right,
it.
you can read it out, here, I have it there. Do you wanna speak on it?
Just really quickly, I just wanted to address a few of your comments there. I apologize that maybe you were missed throughout this process. The registered mail went to all addresses that were relevant to the property, and that's how you ended up receiving it through registered mail. But it's fairly common practice for us when we're looking at a hearing or an order that it is posted on the property as well. So there was no open order on your property, and that's why it wouldn't have been posted, because until now, essentially, there was no order. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay, thank you for that, Evan. And, you okay there, Randy?
I guess so.
Yeah. Substitute.
Okay, Municipal Government Act, Statute of Nova Scotia 1998, order requiring demolition to Patrick Michael McPherson, 6190 Pictou Landing Road. Are Route 2, Trenton, Nova Scotia. Take notice that pursuant to Section 346 of the Municipal Government Act, the Council of the Municipality of County Pictou, the Council and the County has determined that the property located at 6190 Pictou Landing Road, Trenton, Pictou County, Nova Scotia, associated with tax number 015865521 and PID number 01017961, which lands are included in those more particular described in Schedule A hereto attached and forming a part hereof, the property is dangerous or unsightly. And further take notice that the council orders you to remedy these conditions by doing all the following acts or things, the work on the property, that is to say, complete all requirements work to the property as listed below. Demolition of all building structures which are in ruinous or dilapidated condition, leaving the site in safe condition. Removal of all derelict vehicles, vehicle parts, and various equipment. Removal of all debris and garbage. The work is to be completed and done within 30 days of the date of service of this order. And further take notice that in the event of failure by you to comply with the requirements of this order within 30 days after its date of service, the administrator may enter upon the property without warrant or legal process and carry out the work specified in the order. That the cost of the work with the interest and the rate determined by the council from the date of completion of the work until the date of payment is the first lien on the property upon which the work was done, and that the property is liable to be sold in a tax sale in accordance with the Municipal Government Act, and excuse me, may at any time be sued for recovered in action in the name of the county. That after the order is served, any person who permits or causes dangerous or unsightly condition continues to permit or cause dangerous or unsightly conditions or fails to comply with the terms of the order is liable in summary conviction to a penalty of not less than $100 and not more than $5,000, and in default of payment to imprisonment for not more than 3 months. That every day during the condition is not remedied, there is a separate offense. Dated Pictou, Nova Scotia, the 7th day of April, 2025. Moved myself, Councillor Randy Palmer.
I need
Any
a
such-
seconded by Councillor Wooden. Okay, you've heard the reading of the order for the location on 6190 Pictou Landing Road, and you saw the pictures, and you heard from the owner. Are there any further questions, comments on the situation there? Councillor Andy Thompson.
Thank you. Just one question, because we have a cooperative property owner here. Normally, when we do a demolition of these sites, I always ask the question of securing the well or either filling it in or securing it if you have plans for future use, just for fear that. Yeah, so if there's any wells on the site, you would look after that as well. Thank you.
All right, any further questions or comments before I call for the vote? Not seeing any. All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. Thank you for coming this evening.
I'm sorry that I put you through this.
Oh, well, that's what we're here for. So at this point, we're gonna have to clear the room for a short time, because we need to go in camera, discuss a personnel matter.
That's right.
Just read to that one.
Okay, so now we're going to, our amendments, that, were added tonight to the, land use, bylaw and our municipal planning strategy. Before we do the first reading, there's two, I guess we'll call them minor, amendments to, what we would normally ready to bring forward here with the changes we've had over the last few weeks. So, Randy, do you want to go ahead with those two amendments from, that came to us from Upland?
Yep.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to make two amendments to the land use bylaw. They're just minor. The first one is to add PID number 650555196 to the list of existing topsoil removal properties under 5.5.1B of the land use bylaw. Also, the second change is to zoning on PID number 65063-083, 100 McConnell Lane in Seafoam, from rural general to commercial recreation, P2, to accommodate a cottage condominium development. Moved by myself, Councillor Randy Palmer, April 7th,
Looking for a second.
2024, or 2025, and second by Councillor Ronnie Bailey.
Seconded by Councillor Bailey. So those are, like, Councillor Palmer said, they're minor changes as we work with residents trying to get things as, I guess we could say, as accommodating as possible for individuals before we put this through first and hopefully second reading. So one is to do with the topsoil. Certain properties were given, that are currently in the business, were given the right to stay in the business, but only to expand to certain limitations on the property, and that's what that one's about, adding another property. And the other one is, again, somebody in the Seafoam area, wanting the development out there. So it was allowed, as we went through this process, if people had particular things that they wanted to try and work around, I guess, so they could do the developments that they want to do, as long as they got it in time before we move ahead with the readings. So those two, so we've had, is there any questions on either of those two? You have a question, Councilor? Yeah, go ahead.
I'm very confused by all this. If we're gonna have a first reading tonight, then we better change before we went to first reading. I mean, people don't know about this. We do now because we're just told it. But I mean, this don't even make sense. We seem to be doing the same thing every time. And that's what happened last time. We end up having to do it all over again. So I don't understand why they turn around and doing this just before we're going to turn around for the first reading.
I believe last time was mostly about something that Upland missed down on the ammunition line.
Change is a change.
Yeah, but, yeah, these were brought forward tonight by Upland to see if we can put them in before we do this. They don't affect, a whole lot of properties or something here. They affect, particular situations.
If it affects one of our residents, one of our residents, it doesn't matter. They have just as much right as everybody else. And that's what I'm saying. If we're not going to let them know, and then every time before we turn around and have a reading on this stuff, we turn around, oh, we're going to change this, we're going to change that. This is not right. This is don't even, like something smells fishy here, that, it keeps these changes keep happening. Maybe it's totally, great, but I mean, the thing is, it's not fair to everybody. I mean, I think it's wrong what we're doing when we keep doing these changes before we do a reading.
Okay, thank you. So we have the two changes. Are there any other comments or questions on the two changes there tonight? If not, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? One against, Peter. Okay. And so with those two in place, and we're ready, we are going through this for the second time, and there is a chance to, at our second reading, as we had last time, we had people here that presented, so there is a chance at the second reading. We'll keep going till we get to the point where we get it through someday. But tonight is about the second round of first reading of the land use bylaw. I'll let you take that, Randy, since you're the chair of the PAC.
Okay. Thank you, Warden. Resolution, first reading. Take notice that the following bylaw will be presented to council for the second reading on May 5th, 2025. Be it resolved that the municipality of the County of Pictou adopt the following land use bylaw and municipal planning strategy dated Pictou, Nova Scotia, the 7th day of April, 2025, moved by myself, Councilor Randy Palmer, and seconded by Councilor Ronnie Bailey.
Okay, so that's the first reading of our land use bylaw and municipal planning strategy. Any questions? We've been through this a few times, but is there anything anybody wants to have clear before we call for the vote on the first reading? Go ahead, Joe.
Just one quick question. If, we'll say, another soil producer or developer or whatever comes along and says that he's in the business now, is that grandfathered in?
Yes, so anything that exists on the ground today is grandfathered in. The question would be around expansion, I guess, of that business, but there would be a process for them to amend the bylaw, rezone, do whatever. There are tools in place, but on the surface, they're grandfathered in as existing, as a non-conforming use.
Okay, thank you. And I was probably the person that got that other one in there, so.
We're aiming to satisfy part of what the provincial government wants, which is some protection for agricultural soils. This is the one we have in there. There's others that might rather have more for sure. But this one, we were told by Upland that this would satisfy the provincial on that demand. And it won't stop all the topsoil being removed tomorrow, but it will lead to that over time. And that's, we can't continue to get rid of our good soil. Okay, so we're ready for the question on the motion that Councillor Palmer put forward on our first reading. All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Okay, how many nays do we have? Please raise your hand. 3 nays. Okay, we have that. So motion is approved, or passed, I guess I should say. So that will then come up for second reading on our, whatever date it is, our May council meeting. We'll have the second reading and we'll see where it goes.
Will there be a public hearing
There'll be
ahead of that
very
too?
similar to
Same,
before,
okay,
same
thank you.
process, and if we run into, you know, other than some minor things, but if we run into anything major, as we did last time with the Antigonish water, then we can do it again. Okay, oh, sorry, go ahead, Councilor Boyles.
When will be the May council meeting? What date's it, do you know?
May 5th. 5th.
Oh, okay, no, because just wonder, we'll be in Ottawa, but
Okay. All right, so now we'll move on to our committee nominations. Councilor McKeel, you're on after that one.
Thank you very much, Mr. Warden. Be it resolved that the municipality of the County of Pictou approve the following citizen committee nominations for the term April 2025 to March 2027. Climate Change Advisory Committee, Ian McKay, Rick Williams, David Parker, and Alan Best. Litter Awareness Committee, Bernice Langell, Robbie McGinnis, and David Hutchings. Planning Advisory Committee, Earl Cameron, and finally the Police Advisory Committee, Gwen Savage and Gordon Gillis. Dated at Pictou, Nova Scotia, the 7th day of April, 2025, signed by myself, Councillor Darla McKeel, and seconded by Councillor Chester Dewar.
Okay, so that's the motion, moved and seconded to approve the citizens for some of our committees. Well, I want to make sure, does anybody have any questions? All right, now I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. All right, now we flip to page 2. Fire Department levies, Councillor Wood, you're on.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Resolution Fire Department levies, whereas policy number 2018-0347, Municipality of the County of Pictou Fire Department area rate policy provides uniform guidelines for the approval of area rates levied for the fire protection services within the municipality. Whereas the fire department wishing to adjust its area rate for the next fiscal year shall notify the chief administrative officer or their member of the council of its intention to adjust the rate by February 28th of the preceding fiscal year. Whereas the fire department applying to the municipality for an adjustment to the area rate shall hold a public meeting to discuss the purpose for which the change in area rate is required and to provide information to the residents of the need for the adjustment. Therefore, be it resolved that the municipal council authorizes the rating and collection of the following fire rates in the fire coverage areas. Abercrombie Fire Department, 12 cents per $100 of assessment. Little Harbor Fire Department, 8 cents per $100 of assessment. And West River Fire Department, 14 cents per $100 of assessment. Dated at Pictou, Nova Scotia, the 7th day of April, 2025. Signed by myself, Councillor Deborah Wadden, and seconded by Councillor Ron Bailey.
So second.
Okay, so you've heard the reading of the resolution to do with increasing or decreasing fire levies in some of our fire departments. Are there any questions on that motion? Seeing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Aye. Against? Motion carried. Now, Councillor Thompson, you have one for the Plymouth Fire Department loan guarantee.
Yep, thank you. Resolution, whereas the Plymouth Fire Department is a registered fire department with the Municipality of the County of Pictou, whereas the Plymouth Fire Department is incorporated by the Societies Act, and whereas the Plymouth Fire Department has determined to borrow the aggregate principal sum of $200,000 for the purpose of a new fire truck by special resolution on the 17th day of March 2025 as per Section 10D of the Societies Act. Whereas the Plymouth Fire Department has requested the Municipality of the County of Pictou to guarantee the said borrowing, whereas Section 294 subsection 6 of the Municipal Government Act provides the municipality may grant or lend money to or guarantee a loan for a registered fire department for operating or capital purposes. And whereas Section 88 subsection 3 of the Municipal Government Act provides that no guarantee of borrowing by a municipality shall have effect unless the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing has approved the proposed borrowing or debenture and off the proposed guarantee. Be it therefore resolved that the Municipality of the County of Pictou does hereby approve the borrowing by the Plymouth Fire Department of $200,000 for the purpose set out above. That, subject to the approval of the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing of the guarantee, the municipality unconditionally guarantee repayment of principal and interest of borrowing so made. That upon the issue of debentures, the warden and the clerk of the municipality do sign the guarantee attached to each of the debentures and affix thereto the corporate seal of the municipality dated at Pictou, Nova Scotia, the 7th day of April 2025, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Chester Dewar.
So second. Okay, you've heard the reading of the resolution, moved and seconded for the Plymouth Fire Department loan guarantee. Are there any questions on that? Go ahead, Councillor Thompson.
Just on that, I want to congratulate the Plymouth Fire Department. They work hard. I think everybody's had one of their roast beef dinners. And they're always there. They're always there when you need them on your worst day. So they're only asking for $200,000 loan guarantee for a truck that's worth $775,000. It was delivered last week. The department's really excited about the new equipment and look forward to paying this loan off quickly. So, and most of these fire departments ask for this loan guarantee based just for a cash flow situation, so they're not cash poor at the end of the year. So anyways, that's the whole purpose behind this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, and, if there's no other questions or comments, call for the vote on that motion. All those in favor? Against? Motion carried. Now, we have, next one is Councillor Wadden to do with our library situation.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Like I said, last time I spoke with the group here concerning the concerns we have with the library and the funding formula that didn't happen this year with the provincial budget. I think it is time now we need to write a letter to Minister Ritchie, and I think all our MLAs actually, like in our area, should certainly receive a copy of the letter, just advising them that we really need that provincial funding, the $1.7 million in provincial emergency funding. They have provided emergency funding for the last 2 years, and that's what has gotten our board through some very difficult times. And as well, we'd like to see them re-engage with the funding formula process committee, because it's something they have to move forward with. We saw during COVID how libraries stepped up and did so much work for our government, for the residents of this county, and for Antigonish County as well, and right across the province. They pivoted and they did things that no other person could take on, no other organization could take on, because they cared that deeply and they were trying to get the job done. And the province did depend on them for a lot of issues. The same thing can happen here. We know what's happening with our neighbor to the south and the terrible tariff situation we're under, the pressure that is on the provincial government right now. But at the same time, we really do feel that a better understanding of our board's situation with the libraries. We don't want to see cutbacks and layoffs, and we want to see our good staff maintained. So with that, I'm going to ask council if they would consider agreeing to write a letter to Minister Ritchie and the MLAs for this area, just with that request. Thank you.
Has there already been a letter sent, Mr. CEO?
Yes, actually, the mayors and wardens signed a letter today on this issue. All six, it came out of Westville's meeting last week, so it kind of came together quickly that it come from all. So they all actually signed off on one today.
Would it hurt to send one though from our council, or is it necessary with the mayors and wardens? Is anyone in? I mean, it's trying to exert a little bit more pressure. That's all.
I think it was felt better coming from all of us, maybe, rather than each one of us sending one.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Thank you.
Okay, is there any comments or questions on the library situation? Certainly a dire situation. We got people working for us that are working for the library, should say, that are very much sounds like they're underpaid, and we're asking them to do a lot, and for some reason even the emergency money isn't available this year, which is kind of what was tiding them over. So again, it's nice to have a nice new library like we have in Pictou now, and they're remodeling the one in Glasgow, but if we don't have people to run them, they're just buildings. So go ahead, Councillor Boyles, and then Councillor Dewar.
My big thing is just what you said there, is that, redoing, then look at the library they have now in Pictou, and look at, they're going to do renew, and you got the other little towns with their little closet libraries, and you just wonder why they need such elaborate libraries, and that's where the money's going. If they didn't put all this money out on this, on doing this stuff, there'd like to be money there to keep our staff going. I just don't understand why they need all this, relevancy for a library when it's, it can be done. It's been done for years with less.
Thank you. Councillor Dewar.
Thanks, Mr. Warden. I know we just talked about it and said, well, the mayors and wardens would send a letter, but I think it's important that they get a letter from us too, because we're representing the whole of the county, and we got our the east and the west, and we got MLAs there, and most of us know our MLAs on both sides, and maybe even in the center. And the more people, or the more information or requests they're going to get, I think that's important. And then if we don't hear back from them in a month or 6 weeks, we do it again. And I find that if you keep on them and keep on them, something happens after a while, because
Do
either
you
get,
wanna make that motion then, Counselor Dewar?
well, she did.
No, well, we never got to a motion. We,
Okay, well, if
We can
counsel-
still send our own, it doesn't cost, other than the cost of
I'll
the stamp,
second
you
if
know?
Counselor Wadden will make the motion.
Okay, you'll make the motion. I wasn't trying to kill it, I just was trying to say that we did already send, the agreement around the table. Yeah,
First time I asked for council support, and then he seconded, so I thought that was the motion.
oh, okay, yeah, I'm getting mixed up in my head a little, then we'll go back to that motion then. But Counselor Dewar, made a good point, and there's no cost, like I say, in sending another letter. So, I just wanted people to be clear that when the discussion was held between myself and the mayors, it was thought, do we each send a letter? No, let's send a joint letter. But nobody said you can't send your own letter neither, so. Okay, so the motion is to write a letter, to the, is it to the minister? Yeah, the Minister of Community, Culture and Heritage, Steve Ritzie, expressing our concerns for sure about the, lack of funding, for our libraries here in Pictou County. A copy to the 3 MLAs. Yeah.
And for the emergency funding money plus, to re-engage the funding formula.
Yeah, the emergency funding plus, the re-engage, this, committee is looking at the wages for the people.
But if I could just, for one moment, just to go back to Councillor Boyle's comments, for the renovations being done at the libraries, that's because they have pivoted so much over the years. They are such a necessary part of our communities. We've got a top-of-the-line cultural center now in Pictou because of the federal government, the provincial government, and the municipalities of Pictou and Pictou County. And it is going to be a big draw. It is now a big draw to our area. So I think they're working very hard with the programs they're running. It's not just for borrowing books. It's for doing a lot more work. Our immigration system, people learning to speak English, all kinds of things with children. And you know the art's down there in the cultural center right now. As far as New Glasgow's, again, it's another big project, and it's being supported by the federal and the provincial governments and the town of New Glasgow. They're trying to do as many renovations as they can to the libraries because they're at a point in their stage in their life where they need the updates because they have so many people coming in and doing all different things. They're always open to suggestions. They have community kitchen cupboards there now. They just do a whole pile of things that I really think expanding them and making them better places is not taking away from paying the staff. I think that should be a positive for the staff. So I just wanted to clarify that.
And there is some difference when you go looking for funding, for capital funding. You're not gonna go to the federal government and get any money for capital or for operating the libraries, and it appears like not a whole lot, unless we can get some people to change their minds, even from the provincial right now, to help pay some of those, wages and other costs too. Okay, so we have a motion on the floor to write a letter. Oh, Councillor Donnie Parker, sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. I'm a big supporter of the libraries. I think they're a great thing to have here, and I've seen the head librarian. He lives in my district there, and he was on television pleading for money because they don't have enough money to pay everybody. I think we should support this resolution, like Councillor Dewar said there, that the more letters we send them, the better. You know, I'm a big believer in that squeaky wheel gets the grease thing, and I think we should send them a letter here.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Ward.
Okay, don't see any more lights. So I think I'll call for the vote on sending that letter to support our libraries. All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? One nay. Okay, motion carried. Now we have, Councillor Donnie Parker on their solar program participation policy. Okay, I'll let you go. I'm trying to think of the other name. What's the? Switch.
Switch,
Yeah.
MOPC switch, yeah. Thank you, Mr. Warden. Be it resolved that the Municipality of Pictou County adopt the following policy in regards to the municipality solar program participation agreement. Purpose to establish equitable guidelines for the application of the Pictou County PACE loan program. Authority provided under Section 65 of the Municipal Government Act as amended. Objectives to identify conditions upon which loan applications will be processed and approved. General policy statements, a participation agreement approved under the Switch MOPC program and property access clean energy program bylaw for solar battery projects can be extended for a term not to exceed 15 years for a residential application. A participation agreement approved under the Switch MOPC program and property access clean energy program bylaw for solar battery projects can be extended for a term not to exceed 10 years for a commercial application. C, commercial zone properties are eligible for solar battery financing loan terms to 10 years and a maximum of the less of $250,000 per or 15% of assessed value. D, delinquent monthly loan payments will be assessed at a $75 non-sufficient funds fee and will accrue interest at 12% per annum. A property with more than 3 months of delinquent payments in arrears will be considered in default and accrue interest on the entire principal at 12% per year. Dated at Pictou, Nova Scotia, this 7th day of April 2025, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Ronnie Bailey.
Second.
Okay, been moved and seconded, the changes to our Switch MOPC program, they're minor, maybe in some ways, but they're important to some individuals for sure, and that, one of them extends it from 10 years to 15 years, and the other is to allow commercial to use this, whereas before it was all residential, right? Yeah. So those are the two main things out of that motion. So it's been moved and seconded. Is there any questions or comments on that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Against? Motion carried. Okay, and we're now down to deferred business. Is there any deferred business to deal with tonight? Not seeing any, so we'll move along to community announcements. Any community announcements tonight? Go ahead, Joe.
The Lismore Community Center is doing a salmon supper on the 13th of April from 4 to 6. It's delicious, and I recommend everybody to go there. The American Mish Community Center is doing an Easter egg hunt on the 19th of April at 2 p.m. It's open for kids, and it'll be a good time for them.
No adults allowed? Shoot. Any other community announcements this evening? Go ahead, Councillor Thompson.
Yes, thank you. I had the great honor of helping to cut the cake out at the Sunnybury Community Center, the former Rebecca Lodge Hall. It was their 100th anniversary, but it was also their grand reopenings following the extensive renovations to the building. It's been a long time coming. Community members like Brenda Sharp were key to pushing this project along. Thank the 3 levels of government. There was about $125,000 from the federal government in it. There was about $80,000 from the provincial government and $27,000 from the municipality through the Community Connectivity Fund, along with some grants and donations and some support through Efficiency Nova Scotia rebates. The work's not done there yet, but the community's really happy. They have a accessible, comfortable space. It's got 2 accessible washrooms. It's got a brand new kitchen and totally refinished on the inside. 2 more things that need to be done is a steel roof, and they're part of the Pictou County Net Zero Community Buildings Project, so they're going to receive a set of solar panels at the end of this, which should eliminate their energy costs, which will make that building sustainable over the long term. So it's quite a accomplishment for a small community, and the southeastern section of Pictou County. Like, it's rural and remote there. It's a municipally designated comfort center. I want to thank Evan for coming out for the grand opening. It was a good show of people from the community, and it shows that big ideas can come from small places.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Thompson. Go ahead, Joe, or have you? No. Oh, you're just left the light on, okay. Councillor Watt.
Thank you. I should have said this earlier. I just want to thank Evan for coming out to Little Harbor and doing the wildfire session with the community residents on Saturday morning. It was really well attended, and I'm getting all kinds of positive feedback from what happened at that meeting and how it's being handled from there on in. So thank you very much, Evan.
So you may get some more calls for other areas since you did such a good job. Any other community announcements? Go ahead, Councillor Boyle.
Just like to thank our fire inspector. He come out and he done a course on the, well, to show us how to do the AED, I guess you call them, the heart thing. And man, I'll tell you, everybody should get it put on, because we were really fascinated by what he told us and how it works and the whole 9 yards. So I'm telling you, everybody should be after him to go and give them this demonstration.
That's a good suggestion. I'm looking around, seeing no lights. I do want to mention, I got Shelley to hand these out earlier from the Aberdeen Hospital. It's about a new project, or it's not real new, but it's called RAS. And around this table and out in the community, we've always heard all kinds of stories about how long the wait was at the emerge or at the outdoor in the hospital. I know two members of my family, one waited 13 hours, the other waited 15 hours, and still never got to see a doctor. So and it's a complaint you hear over and over. So this is a new program, and I talked to the lady that's on the front of this here, Stacy McDonald, and so it's something that's been mentioned here before, I think, is that if just some of those people coming into that emerge could be funneled off, that could be dealt with in 10 minutes, you know, and they sit there for 8, 10, 12 hours. So her job, and she just started this a few months ago, Stacy's job is to funnel those people off, that she can put casts on. She's a nurse practitioner. So she can put casts on, she can look after all kinds of, I wouldn't even call them minor, but quick problems that can be dealt with, and allow the doctors that are in back there to deal with the more serious cases, but not to send those people home without ever seeing a doctor. And so I asked her that evening, this was at the AGM of the Aberdeen Health Foundation, what happened then the night my son or my wife was in and they waited all those hours. And she said, I couldn't have been there that day. She said that would not happen if I was here that day. So I think that's something we need to let our residents know, because there's a lot of residents now that say, I simply can't wait that long. So I know when my mother was alive, she would say, I can't wait that long, so I can't go there. And there are people that get up and leave after all those hours. Those people came because they needed help. But so I'm hopeful this is working. She certainly says it's working. And there's quite a bit of money gone into it, but she said the biggest thing they need right now is another one of her, because on those days when she's not here, then you're right back to the old 10, 12, 15-hour waits. So she's very much in favor and a strong supporter. She says here, it's amazing to see the huge decrease in the number of patients who leave without being seen. And that's really where a lot of the problem is. If those people don't get seen, maybe whatever they came to see about gets a whole lot worse in 2 or 3 months. And people say, well, if you just had gone earlier, well, I did, but I couldn't get any help. So hopefully this is a sign of some help coming, because it's a major concern in this county of those wait times. I'm not talking about wait times to get new hips and stuff, but wait times at the emerge. And so this is the first I'd heard of it, so they gave me some extra copies, and you can read more about it in there, I guess. Any questions before we, I think, well, we're down to motions of reconsideration. Anybody have any motions of reconsideration? Not seeing none, so fairly early, I told you we did. So we'll adjourn this meeting and have a safe drive home.
Well, like 7 o'clock, is it?